I'm your anchor, Josie. Hey.
And I'm your other anchor, Sean. Thanks, Allie. I forgot to do that. And because it's somebody's birthday, not mine, it was on Friday. But hey, a little pitchy for me, dog. We've got all the world, national, and local news that you may have missed.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is
NewsFlash. Dong ding, our top story tonight. Maybe just a hair down, just a little bit. Our top story tonight, at the start of last week, Trump said he had not yet made a final decision about Iran. Well, it looks like he made up his mind. Nice to know that Trump's handling a high-stakes potential war starting decision the same way I would decide whether or not I want to get a dessert at Chili's. Consider if that dessert had 92 million people and Ted Cruz doesn't have time to read the menu or anything. So now we're dealing with not just the aftermath of Iran launching retaliation against troops in Qatar, U.S. bases there, but Congress is mad at him. Even Tucker Carlson is mad at him, and that's saying something. Wow. It's almost as if everybody forgot that Trump is an impulsive, manipulative liar who gets extremely petty about shit like nobody's showing up to his birthday party. So just in case this is the last news flash before we enter nuclear World War III, I just would like to say, told you so? It doesn't feel as good as I thought it would, huh? Oh well.
Summer music fests are off to a rough start. Bonnaroo in Tennessee got canceled after only one day due to severe storms, but at least people got to be drenched in Faygo by Insane Clown Posse before being flooded out. Then this past weekend, Electric Forest here in Rothbury had a bumpy start due to rain before it even opened, which just made the rest of the record heat wave weekend super fun. In this context, the string cheese incident in question is that it melted.
Yes. Worst of all, last weekend, Rock the Country, which took place in Hastings, it went off without a hitch, which is to say thousands of people caused debilitating traffic in the city of Hastings, Michigan, because that's roughly thousands more than they'd have ever seen before. And so nobody had any problem whatsoever watching any performances from Nickelback, Kid Rock, Big and Rich, the Yin Yang Twins, and Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah, well, if God is a DJ, maybe we should try hiding the aux cord, because he clearly hates us.
Grand Rapids ranked highest out of any other Michigan city in a list of best run cities in America, because people are always running away from it.
Yeah.
The list was assembled via survey by Wallet Hub, and Grand Rapids placed 22 out of 150 cities surveyed, which is pretty good, but what else do you expect from the city that was built upon a pyramid scheme? We are organized as hell.
Yeah. Just you and 7 good friends. And here to clear the docket, we've got a couple stories that have just been kicking around for a bit, and we just got to get them out of the way. So, first up, Matthew Mencarelli, a contractor from Rockford, and the guy who almost certainly would have been cast as the bully of any movie from the last 40 years, has been sentenced to 8 years in prison for scamming investors out of over $1.6 million for a phony fiber optic project. Now, let's just be clear. Most of these people giving him money were just friends and attendees of his family's yacht and country club, so don't feel too bad for any of these people. They had too much money already. So the biggest red flag, though, is that anyone believed that this guy had lucrative contracts in Traverse City. I just came from Traverse City. No one gives a shit about fiber internet up there. They're too busy drinking wine and kite surfing.
Also, Mencarelli wouldn't even own up to his wrongdoing, using his official court statement to shift blame to a supposedly deceased business partner who skipped town. The business partner is depicted here by the court sketch artist and goes by the name Professor Harold Hill.
Musical theater reference for any of you. Also, in case you had any shred of respect left for this douchebag, he was previously sued by a family who paid him $9,000 to renovate their basement to be ADA compliant apartment for their son with cerebral palsy. He basically just pocketed the money and ghosted them. So, in closing, real piece of shit, this guy, which means as soon as he's out of prison in 8 years, or less realistically, we can guarantee he's running for president.
In conspiracy and UFO news, check on your local tinfoil hat friends. The Pentagon has proof that some famous UFO evidence was actually doctored up and spread by the Pentagon. It may seem like the government is actively uncovering evidence of aliens not contacting us, but what if this is just another fake out? This is clearly a big double back strategy for covering up an uncovered false cover up.
Yeah,
you get where this is going. I don't need to say anymore. We all know it.
Those who know have an eye to see. In other espionage news, the University of Michigan said it's going to be cutting ties with a private security company that was accused of following pro-Palestinian activists on and off campus, calling the actions of one employee disturbing, unacceptable, and unethical, with no further elaboration. Yikes. Yeah, sounds like they caught a guy who found a poli-sci major that he thought was cute. But I would like to imagine maybe he was just following his security company's preemptive protest strike policy by throwing a brick through a window. Maybe not. I don't know. Between this and the U of M football program allegedly sign stealing from their competitors, U of M should probably just change its mascot at this point to Michigan Guy with Binoculars in the Bushes. Personally, I wouldn't have fired anybody. I mean, how good could they be at spying if they got caught? Now they're just going to send in the good spies. U of M, get it together.
Grand Rapids Pride happened this past weekend during the during the nearly 100-degree heat wave. So it must have been a really big weekend, especially if you're a folding fan salesperson.
It's a big year for them. They were not the only ones getting hot and bothered this weekend. Pages and Peonies, a romance novel bookstore, LGBT and female-owned, had their grand opening on Saturday. Yeah, give it up for that too, yes. In addition to selling books, of course, they are also planning to host a monthly Spicy Pages book club, which I'm just going to assume is discussing tactics and tips on how to get hot Cheeto stains out of your Daniel Steele paperbacks. Those things take forever.
And finally, a Pez convention came through Farmington Hills this weekend, an event perfect for weirdos who like useless toys and candy that sucks.
Taking you down, Pez, yeah.